need to realize that Nigeria is a failing state. Nigeria is a failing state. And if we don't take care and we put it in jeopardy, we can't safeguard it, then the worst can happen, God forbid. So it's very, very important that we take this. So the next section actually provides tables where you can see how Nigeria is ranked on all global indices, whether it is how you can compare Nigeria with other countries in terms of security provisioning, how you can compare Nigeria and other countries in terms of the rate of corruption, how you can compare Nigeria and other countries in terms of all other critical indices that the United Nations group to create what they call the Human Development Index. On all of these indices, I regret to say Nigeria is ranking very low. The tables are there, you can see them. The only place where Nigeria is ranking highly, there is an index on crime in Africa. Nigeria is number one. So these are things we can laugh about, but frankly, they are very serious issues that we really have to pay attention to. So I will use my 3 minutes quickly to so looking at all of these challenges, I have made recommendations about what needs to be done. These recommendations are just my own thinking. There needs to be, I think the most important thing is we need to begin to think. Those of us in the academia whose business description includes research, includes analysis, we have a major responsibility in this. But our leaders, those in leadership position, need to actually try to understand these challenges and find ways and the means of engaging constructively in order to address this. So with regards to the structure of the Nigerian Federation, I think that a lot needs to be done before 2027 in the current period. Otherwise, we will miss a major opportunity and it may become too late to do anything that can rescue our country from those challenges. So my argument is that between now and 2027, we need to pool our heads together, have a reasoned, rational, evidence-based process of restructuring the Nigerian Federation. And to my mind, the major thing we need to do is actually to deconcentrate power and the resources from the federal tier and spread them to the state and local governments. Even if all we do is to go back to the way in which power was distributed in the 1963 Constitution, we should do that. But I even think we should go beyond that, because we need to reduce the power of the federal government, because in fact that power of the federal government, in which whoever is elected president controls virtually all the resources, creates the reality, but more importantly the perception that those are used against one group vis-a-vis the other. Of course, there is a fear that if more power and resources go to the state governments and local governments, given what we see happening in Nigeria now, many people are afraid that it cannot solve the problem. But my own thinking is that the more power and the resources in the states and local government, the less attractive the federal government becomes, then the more people will concentrate in terms of bringing appropriate reforms to the state and local government. So it's very, very important that we truly address this. There are many recommendations under that. I will move to the Nigerian economy. I think, again, we need to find ways and the means of reducing our dependence on revenues from oil, improving agricultural productivity and the agro-allied industries, and employment opportunities for the teeming, useful population that has no jobs, and also ensuring that we revive the manufacturing sector. No country develops if it cannot produce sufficiently for the home market. A situation in Nigeria where virtually everything is imported, really is a recipe for disasters and can push our country into a situation in which we cannot safeguard its future. Conclusion. Theoretically, as I said earlier on, the state exists, among other things, in order to cater for the security, welfare, and basic needs of citizens. In fact, no nation can exist for very long without institutional arrangements to promote the human security and the well-being of its members. Any state that fails to do this in the modern context would be considered as a failed state. Due to the resources ordinarily available to the state under normal circumstances, it should have the capacity and competence to address human security challenges and to actually decisively succeed in doing so. In this context, the Nigerian state needs to discharge this obligation to its citizens because currently it is not discharging it. However, the citizens also need to recognize they have obligations of citizenship to their country and therefore have a significant role to play in shaping the present and safeguarding the future of Nigeria. And I say this because the tendency we are seeing now, when people are just withdrawing and doing sit-down look, it doesn't help. If the reckless people are capturing the political process, the electoral process, capturing government and doing their best, if you just sit and watch, obviously they will destroy the future for everybody. So constructive engagement is absolutely necessary. People have to get involved, and so citizens have an obligation. In good or in bad times, citizens have a key role to play in order to ensure that their country survives and good things happen that are beneficial to the ordinary citizens. Ultimately, the best way to safeguard Nigeria's future and secure the welfare of citizens devoid of massive security challenges is to have elections with integrity. Through an electoral process that is not captured on resources and deliver good quality services. Only in this way can the state have the requisite legitimacy, stability, competence, and capacity, as well as resourcefulness to effectively address the needs of the people and to safeguard the future of our country. Thank you very much.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm sure we all agree that this is vintage Giga. And we have all listened, ladies and gentlemen. If not for two basic reasons, I would have said Professor Jega plagiarized His Excellency's document Migratory Project 2. But I will not say that because Professor Jega is a consummate academic and also my senior brother. Your Excellency, Professor Jega, what you have said is absolutely true. This was the basis of what His Excellency developed a document called Migratory Project, which has captured the human security that you mentioned, and the issue of the environment, the issue of infrastructure development, security, and welfare and education for our youth and employment for our jobless. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. On this note, I will invite on the program on the sheet of paper here, there is an award presentation to the guest speaker by the Co-Chancellor There is an award to the guest speaker by the Co-Chancellor and the Chairman of the Governing Council, our father, Professor Ango Abdullahi. You are going to get the presentation, sir.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for this honor. For me, on behalf of all of us, this convocation lecture will be invited to, indicate our appreciation to the guest lecturer. I was telling His Excellency now, because he saw Professor Jega has he graduated in 1978. I was then becoming the deputy vice chancellor of the he became an activist in the academics. I always refer to him. These are the other boys. I will not call the other names. He has always impressed me and others like me that we have the joy of a dying father is to see a worthy successor. So this is for my generation, these are worthy successors, and we are hoping that they will find out to this as long as possible too, and they too should stop. And as you can see from the lecture, is worried about the future of the country, and we've been working very hard together within the academia and others to ensure that we really are ready to begin the serious process of consolidating the future of this country, starting from now and heading towards 2027. There is no time to lose. So saboda haka mun gode kwarai Professor saboda wannan lecture da ka kuma ta zama daidai da halin da ƙasa take ciki, kuma ya kamata wani zuciyar ɗaura akwai aiki. Dan ga kwanan nan na ce mashi akwai aiki, amma ni ina son sai shi to idan aikin ya samu wa zai zo ya gaya ma ga aiki ya dame shi. Saboda haka nan on behalf of all of us, and more in particular on behalf of Bauchi State University, otherwise now known as Sa'adu Zungur University. We want to thank you again, and please stay available, not for just convocation lectures. We are going to have a series of lectures and discussions and so on, which we want to kickstart in the new year. Working from where we said we have to prepare, and we are going to be prepared. So, nobody can say, a madadin visitor and our respected fathers, leaders, an ce a baka wannan babin komai wannan ka tuna da wannan rana da kuma kokarin da kai don ka kuma mai gani. Assalamu alaikum. Ina wannan wani. Money in a certificate. Basug State University, otherwise known as Basug University. Appreciation of the outstanding delivery of the maiden convocation lecture presented to Professor Atahiru Jaga. For your information, Sunana Kena.
The BBC academic to come and do the course of tax. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Bauchi State, I would like to seek your permission for 5 minutes to inaugurate the Bauchi State University anthem. So we will skip it till tomorrow. Thank you very much for the opportunity, for the privilege to stand before you to do the vote of thanks. I would like to start with His Excellency. There are so many people to thank here, but I will restrict myself to one thing. The Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Abdulkadir Mohammed Bauchi. They have been calling him the action governor. But from what he has done, not just for the state, but for this university, it is better to use a more coherent, more captivating, and more attractive phrase to describe it. For that, I would like to suggest, based on what he has been doing, but based on his approach, using practical ways to solve problems. So it's better to call him sincerely pragmatic governor. And that this, I think, is more captivating and more rewarding. Your Excellency, we thank you so much for your support. Without your support, these convocations would not have been possible. You have done extremely well in terms of providing infrastructure for the university, supporting our learning facilities, and also allowing the university, almost the only state university in the whole of this country,
that operate with sufficient autonomy. We thank you so much for that. Secondly, I would also like to recognize and thank our royal fathers, beginning with the Chancellor of the University, the Emir of Bauchi, Emir of Katagun, these two, and also the Emir of Basug. These three have always identified with this university. So we thank you so much for that, and we will continue to come to you for that. And then the next category is to also thank our visiting vice chancellors, members of State House of Assembly, members of the Senate of this university, directors, and almost everybody that takes time to come to this convocation lecture. We thank all of you for that support. And finally, I would like to thank, of course, the members of the press and also the NUC Executive Secretary that also come all the way from Abuja and take home representatives. So we thank all of you for identifying with us, and we will continue to come to you for your support. Thank you very much.